I'll ask you to tell me where you are, who you're with, and how you're holding up through all of this. Zdeno, let's start with you.
Uh, I'm basically home with my family. They just went out for a little walk and just spending as much time as I can with my family, with my kids. And yeah, it's been kind of a little bit different than what we used to. But, at the same time, trying to make best out of the situation that it is right now.
You stay in Boston or did you go someplace else?
I decided we drove down south to Florida, so it's kind of warmer weather, and we are in gated communities, so less people and more things to do. A little bit of, I guess, outside with the kids.
Great, thanks. John, how you doing? Where are you?
I'm still in Toronto at home. Name is kind of Big Z. Just with my son and my wife. Same kind of ordeal. I think just trying to grasp what's going on. First couple of days, just try to get an understanding of kind of where things are at and what's kind of hit us. And I think since then, just try to develop some type of routine, some type of structure to, create some normalcy. And just really enjoy spending some time, especially with my son. When we're traveling all through the year and through the season, you're in and out so quickly. You don't really get to experience that consistency until the off season. So just having that time to kind of be around him on a daily basis and be able to help out and spend time with him has been fantastic. So just trying to make the best of it, understanding, how these circumstances are impacting all of us.
Dylan, how about you?
Yeah, I'm at home here in Detroit with my girlfriend. We just got a puppy, and just doing that, like John said, and just trying to develop a routine, gather more information, and stay safe, more importantly. So just been home and hanging out, and that's about it.
Okay, Brady, how about you?
Yeah, just with my family here in St. Louis. It's like these guys have said, it's pretty crazy thing going on just this whole world. So just being able to spend time with family and hang out. It's you don't get to hang out with your family as much during the year, and kind of be together for this time. It's been good, but I think we're all just concerned with everybody impacted.
All right, so Brady, we know it's hit close to home with the Senators. A couple of players tested positive, and just give us an update. How's everybody doing on the team? You're keeping in touch with guys and all that.
Yeah, I think those guys they're doing well. It's we're a tight group, so we're always in contact with one another. But I think all of us are just concerned about them and just everybody impacted by it.
All right. Everybody who writes in wants to know how you guys are keeping fit, and I guess people automatically assume that a professional hockey player would have a great home gym, but then you think about it, and since you have everything at the office, you really don't need a home gym. So I'm just wondering, have you had to get creative? What are you doing? Zdeno, your workouts are legendary, so let's start with you. How are you staying fit?
I think pretty much like everybody else, first 2 days you kind of taking it easy and just using your imagination, your body, and then as you go further, being lucky, I had few things down here, dumbbells, some bike, stationary bike, access to the pool, all these things. So that was obviously one of the reasons why we decided to drive down here to obviously spend a little bit more time outside, but also I had a lot to work out, places, I guess, not being in public gyms, but in my own environment. So trying to do what I can. Our training staff from Boston is sending us a few options we can follow as far as programs, bike options guys can do at home on their stationary bikes. And then obviously who doesn't have, these options can go for maybe a jog or run and use maybe roll skates, whatever you can do, I guess, to keep in shape. So pretty much just like everybody else.
Dylan, have you had to get creative, or do you have some equipment around?
Had to get creative. I have Zdeno, just a stationary bike, and been using that as much as I can, and some dumbbells. So like he said, the staff from Detroit sent us workouts and kind of following that, and waiting to see what happens and more information. And I guess it's been a bit of a positive to let the body heal during this time. And for myself, I haven't had a time like this, just hanging at home and taking care of my body and resting, I guess. So that's been one little positive.
Brady, I don't know if Matthew's with you, but does it help to have a brother who's kind of in the exact same boat, and you can kind of play off each other, or at least share frustrations?
Yeah. Matthew's been here, so we've been keeping busy with him and my younger sister, and just like everybody's been saying, we got the Peloton downstairs that we've been kind of going on. We've been just keeping active with like basketball and stuff like that, and it gets fire. So it's been good. It's stuff we're kind of not used to, but I'm trying to make the most of it in this situation, and just trying to stay active as much as we can.
John, I know Zdeno's got a little bit older kids that are probably keeping him running around. So what's your little guy doing for you? Is he keeping you fit?
Yeah, he's sleeping good at night though, so I think that's most important, allowing us to rest, get our sleep, especially since we have the time for it. My whole plan was just to come on here and pick Zdeno's brain on what he was doing, but what he's been doing, his longevity, and obviously, like you said, the what he's done fitness-wise around the league, just knowing how legendary it is. But all seriousness, having the time to spend with family, whether we go for a walk or two a day or just playing with him around the house. And then, I got a few, dumbbells, kettlebells, a few bands, a bike as well to make the most of it and do the best you can. But also, I think with the uncertainty, it's a good time to kind of disconnect and relax as well. And then, kind of slowly build yourself back up as, hopefully some positivity comes around the corner and we get some more news down the road.
Are you going to share secrets, or are these guys just divisional rivals who you can't tell anything to?
There's always probably a few little things that you never fully share, but a lot of respect for all these guys, a lot of good battles. But Dylan, Brady obviously got bright futures, and Big Z continues to do what he does every year. It's extremely impressive.
All right, so that's enough complimenting each other. Let's get into it a little bit. So let's start with let's go with the youngest guy first. We'll go with Brady first. Look at the other three guys. Think of the things that just drive you nuts playing against them. What is the thing you miss the least about playing against each of these guys? Go ahead. Don't be kind.
Yeah, well, I think first playing against Big Z, the cross checks in front of the net, those are definitely something I definitely don't miss. I mean, you have pretty good battles in front of the net, and so when he lays the lumber on the shoulder, it definitely doesn't feel as good. But I've grown up watching him. I've met him a couple times at a couple All-Star games when we were younger, and he was always super nice to us, and it was great to see. And he's of course, all these guys are great leaders on this team and on their individual teams. So for me, being a young guy, just being able to learn from each individual guy, it's something that I want to use moving forward. And for Larks, being at the U.S. program in college, it's being a couple years younger than him. He's a motivator for all of us 99s at the U.S. program, and to see his success in his first couple of years in Detroit, it was pretty cool to see. Went to a couple of games, and he's definitely a huge part of USA hockey, and what he's done, it's all of us look up to him, and with JT, been able to skate with him in the summer and just see how hard he works, and see how there's kind of no day off, and do some skill sessions and just see his skill, and try to do it, but it doesn't really work out, and it's just awesome to be kind of learn from each of these guys, and it's a lot of battles out there, and just a lot of fun.
Dylan, that was way too complimentary. Let's see if we can take this down a notch.
My turn. Yeah, I think I'll start with Big Z again. I think just his competitiveness. It's his long stick. You can't get around him or get by him. I know we have Doug Huda, who had Big Z in Boston for a while, and he always says just skate by him, but you can't. His stick's so long. He's got great feet, and I definitely don't miss when that puck does get by him and you get it deep and you got to go in the corner and try and get it back from him, and he's going to get a piece of you somehow. So I don't miss that, but it has been great to grow up like Brady said and watch him and then get a chance to play against him. It's similar to a guy like me for Pavel Datsyuk to be able to, I got to play with him, but you watch him and you watch him on YouTube, and it's the same for Zdeno, and pretty special to one of those guys you'll be able to tell your kids you got to play against. So and JT, I think just going up against him quite a bit in face-offs, and he's a guy that can match up and shut you down, or he can definitely score on you. So you gotta watch him, and it seems like you can never break him. His intensity and his drive out there, you never know. He never gives up, and that's one thing I admire about him. He's definitely the rock of a team that has a lot of skill, but he plays the right way and leads in that department for that team. And Brady, it seems like you always play really well against us. You do everything, you fight, and your physicality, I don't miss that. You have no friends out there, and it's great to see as a young guy you come in and you're a great leader on your team. You have a lot of young guys, but you guys just always are flying and attacking high offensive team, and you score goals, you do it all. So I guess that was more complimenting everyone, not saying what I missed, but.
Too many polite hockey players. Zdeno, what drives you nuts about playing against these guys? They all have a lot of skill and a lot of speed.
Was it for me? Sorry.
That's for you, Z. I'm sorry. Yes.
I couldn't hear. What did you say about the?
What drives you crazy about playing against each of these guys?
Well, obviously they're all very important players for their teams. They lead certain ways. I've been playing for a long time, but every time you play against any of these guys, you have to get mentally and physically ready for battle. They are leaders, well-deserved leaders. They do what they can to help their team to win. It's not easy. They all bring certain skills and assets to the game, and they are very good at it. So, like I said, it's one of those things that if you are not ready, then the puck's going to end up in your net. So you better be on top of your game and always aware of every guy who is on the ice, because if you're not, like I said, they're going to make you pay. So. I really look up to these guys, always raise my game, because I know if I don't, then they're going to excel. So, hats off to these guys, because they are the future of this league, and there's going to be many highlights we're going to see from them.
John, I'm guessing you're not going to break out of this compliment all the other guys' mentality, but go ahead, take a shot. Take a shot at somebody.
Battles with all these guys. But that's what makes you respect them more. But I think certainly I can echo the price that you got to pay in front of the net when you're playing against Big Z. And I think also there might be no worse situation than kind of being stuck along the boards and being angled off by the big man. And, you got to embrace one of those body checks, and you're just hoping that everything stays in place. So that, and I blocked a couple of his clappers, which thought they shattered a few bones, but luckily escaped. So, he's got a bomb as well. So a lot of good battles over the years, obviously playoffs last year as well. So Like I said, his longevity and the intensity that he plays with consistently, you have to be ready to play because, he's not taking any shift for granted or off. And I think same with Brady and Dylan in terms of they're always engaged, especially emotionally in the way they play. In your face, they don't back down, they compete hard. Brady got me pretty good early. I think first game of the year this year, right around the bench, and didn't make my ribs feel too great for a couple of weeks. So thanks for that one. And especially coming off any kind of break, it's not going to be a whole lot of fun chasing Dylan Larkin around the ice. So obviously one of the elite skaters in that game, and when you gotta chase a guy like him and try to be above him and slow him down, it's not an easy thing to do. And you definitely want to be feeling good on nights like that. So, but always great challenges, a lot of fun. That's what makes playing in our league great, and especially our division.
Z, I have one for you from Matt Porter of the Boston Globe and Emily Benjamin of NHL.com. Game 7 of the final last year, team at the top of the heap again this year. How hard is it that we had to stop and that you had another great run at it and that there's just uncertainty about when we'll be able to start again? Z, that's for you. Can you hear me?
I can hear, but yeah, sorry, I didn't hear you again.
That's okay. So a couple of the reporters asked, you went to game 7 of the final last year and the team's at the top of the standings again this year. How frustrating is it to stop at this time when the Bruins are right there again and ready to make another run?
Yeah, it is obviously one of those situations that you can't really control. I think that right now we all kind of have to look after each other and after our families. I know it's kind of a cliche answer in these days. I think that hockey is secondary, but if you kind of have to look at it that way, yeah, it is kind of hard to pause the league at that kind of stage where we were at, with few games remaining and so close to the playoffs, and team played well with confidence, and we were obviously on a good pace. So, but who knows? I think that we can all always wish for the perfect situations. I think these kind of situations, as we see, do happen once in a while, and hopefully we will play again, and we'll see when that's gonna be.
John, I'm wondering, as a guy who's in the prime of his career, certainly not near the end, but not at the beginning, you have a young core of players. How do you keep them together as captain at a time like this? Are the group chats just like generation gap weird, or what's going on?
Well, I think obviously with what we're dealing with, we are fortunate in the world we do live in terms of the social aspect and technology and the ability to stay in touch and communicate with obviously loved ones and whatnot, but of course our teammates and staff, and plenty of resources to continue to check in, stay in touch with everybody, see how everyone's kind of holding up, and can't leave each other too long without giving it to one another. So certainly miss being around the guys, but definitely a way to stay in tune and interact and kind of see what everyone's up to and how they're kind of dealing with all this.
So I'll ask you, which player on your team would you most want to be quarantined with, and which player would you least want to be quarantined with, and why?
Yeah, I mean, really, probably Mitchie or Justin Hall. Type of energy they bring around the locker room, how much fun they have every day, and there's their ability to kind of turn any environment, I think, into something that anyone would enjoy. They just bring that enthusiasm, not only to the rink, but just kind of when we're traveling and doing whatever we're doing, all the dead time that we have as players. So definitely two guys that a lot of fun to be around. The least, it's a good question. Can't think anyone right off the top of my head, but yeah, you might have to come back to me on that one.
Dylan, jump in. Most and least, and why?
That's tough. I would probably say probably want to be with Robbie Fabry. You know, I heard, I haven't seen it, but he always brags about his cooking, so I think that would come in pretty clutch right now. And he's a true professional as well. He's always taking care of his body, so I think we would, you know, he'd be able to show me a couple things. And the least is tough. I don't know. That's a tough one to be put on the spot. I don't know. I would probably say maybe Bertuzzi is kind of a slob, so his stall, he's always got things everywhere, so he would make a mess, and I'd be picking up after him. So although we would have a good time, but it would maybe get old. I don't know. That's a tough one.
No, now we're getting somewhere. Brady, come on, pick it up. We got some momentum now.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a couple of guys I want to spend quarantine with. I mean, just one guy in particular, probably Shabbat. I mean, he was my roommate this year, so know him pretty well, and I've been over to his house for a couple of dinners, and he makes some good meals. And I say the one guy wouldn't. I mean, it's probably Colin White. I mean, I'd probably just have steak and mashed potatoes for 2 weeks straight. So, no, he's a great guy to hang out with, but I don't think I could handle having steak and mashed potatoes for 2 weeks.
Hey, Zdeno, you've had a lot of teammates over the years, so I'll open it up to your entire career. What player would you want to be quarantined with, and which one wouldn't you want to be quarantined with? And is Jaromir Jagr in either one of those?
I mean, I could probably be with anyone. I don't know. You put me on the spot, though. You know, it's a lot of teammates. I don't know. There's a lot of them. I would have to go with my current team, though. Like, I like to spend time with Charlie Coyle or Kevin Miller. You know, besides all of my teammates, they're probably two that I like the kind of most to hang out and just talk a little bit about different things. And least, I have to say Tuukka Rask. You know, the way he farts, it's just I don't know if I can. It's just the smell is awful. So I just, he likes his chicken wings, and after the chicken wings, you know, I sit behind him on the bus, and gotta tell you, like, I gotta control myself sometimes.
Okay, that went a direction I was not expecting. Brady, we saw that you guys had a birthday party for your dad. How did that go? And we've also seen some Tkachuk family TikToks that seem to be all the rage. Are you taking part in those? What's going on?
Yeah, I refuse to join their TikToks. That's their thing. I mean, I'm not coordinated enough to do some of those dances, so I don't want to embarrass myself. And yeah, for the big man's birthday, we just honestly just went on a family walk and had cake. So definitely wasn't feeling the frame there, but no, we had a good time. I mean, we've been watching Tiger King, so we just did that and had some cake. So that was a fun night.
What is it with Tiger King? Every call, all the players say that's what they're binge watching.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just pretty interesting. I mean, you know, see those unreal animals, but just see kind of the people behind it. It's kind of cool.
Hey. Who else is watching Tiger King on this call?
Yeah, I have. You think it's cool, Brady?
I just think it's
nuts.
nuts. I couldn't find the right word.
No, it's just interesting. It's the characters in the show. You know, I'm not a big fan of the captivity and some of the behind the scenes stuff, but you know, I'm glad it's not my place to be as vocal about it as some people were on the show. And you know, just interesting. That's all I'm gonna say. I wouldn't say cool for the people.
Wrong choice of words. My bad.
My wife's been watching it mostly. I've seen bits and parts of it, and I think probably caught as much attention as it has because pretty mind-boggling, at least from what I've seen, some of the stuff that's gone on in the show.
John, do you have any other binge stuff that's getting you through this?
Me?
Yeah.
No, this is probably pretty typical, but on Netflix, that baby show just came out just kind of right before the pause, and obviously having a newborn. Just interesting seeing some of the things that they were doing and kind of comparing it, kind of what's going on with our little guys. So pretty much that's it. Honestly, I haven't watched a ton of TV. I think just tried to stay busy. I personally enjoy trying to cook a little bit, and it's given me some time to kind of do that. It's gotten a little nicer out. Try to use the barbecue in the back and whatnot. So try to use my time that way.
So has anybody discovered some hidden skill that they didn't know they had, like cooking or building a chicken coop or, home repair? Dylan, start with you.
No, I haven't. Just caught up on laundry and stuff around the house. Made a list, so got ahead on some things, which is nice, and no hidden skills though.
Brady?
No, honestly not. I mean, trying to figure out the guitar, but that's not working out so far. So might be done with that pretty soon, but no, just no hidden talents either.
All right. Dylan, you knew this question was coming, so because a lot of people have asked. Luke Fox of Sportsnet's one of them. What are the chances you're creating a brand new D-Boss training video for the world?
Yeah, it might come. I mean, I don't know. I got a little shooting area in the garage, so the Dungeon 2.0. So I might have to get out there and make a video. Fans might like it, so we'll see. Depends on the day, I guess.
Zdeno, you had your 43rd birthday when early on in the pause. How did the Chara family celebrate?
We were actually driving. We decided to drive on the 17th. It was a quick decision. So the 17th night, I believe, we decided to come down to Florida. So it took us almost 24 hours. So by the time we got back to the house here in Florida, it was March 18th. So no really big celebrations. Kind of try to keep it low, under the radar. Keep it kind of low. You reach a certain age, you kind of try to hide it. So.
Well, let me ask you one more. I don't know if you guys are all audiophiles or music people, but to get you through this, if you had one record, one album that you would take your desert island disc, what would it be? John, why don't you start?
I like a lot of 90s stuff, so whether it be Dave Matthews Band or Goo Goo Dolls or U2, something like that, probably.
Like that answer. Brady, take us in a different direction.
Yeah, honestly, I'm a big Elton John fan. I went to one of his concerts this year in Vancouver, so I think that's a guy I can listen to for days.
Yeah, it's a good call.
Z?
I grew up with the Nirvana, so either Mind or Unplugged.
Dylan, this is a good group for musical taste.
Yeah. You put me on the spot, but I'm a huge country fan, so Dirk Bentley's he's my guy, so his most recent album, I would probably take that with me.
He's a good hockey man too, Dirk Bentley.
Yeah.
All right, guys, you've been really, really generous with your time, and I just would like to go around the boxes one more time and let you just say something to the fans, a little message for the fans. Dylan, you went last, so let's let you start first. What do you have to say to Red Wings fans and NHL fans in general?
I just think we're all in this obviously together, and it's uncertain times, but this is a great time to spend with loved ones, and obviously in a safe way, and looking out after your family is most important. So we're going to come out of this and hopefully back to normal, and it's about people that are on the front lines of this in the hospitals, the nurses, doctors, emergency responders. So they're on the front lines and they're the real heroes in this. So I appreciate everything they're doing for us right now.
Thanks, Dylan. John, I know you have a lot of friends back in New York where things have been a little tough lately. Maybe something for them and then for people in general.
Yeah, I know a few people that are being really kind of right in the fire of it, and seeing kind of how it's spreading and really obviously making the impact that it is in New York. I really hope everyone there is staying safe and following all kind of the health recommendations, doing everything they can to stay healthy and to obviously slow the spread and help all the people that are on the front line doing everything they can to keep everyone safe and taking a lot of risks themselves. So whether it's former teammates, staff and people that I know very well, obviously the fans down there, and even areas I used to live, people I interacted there. I know a lot of areas have been affected. So I wish all the best to them and hope it can get better. And obviously in Toronto, I think we certainly miss playing in front of our fans and going to Scotiabank Arena and competing to play in the playoffs, and the opportunity that we had in front of us. It's a real special thing to be a Maple Leaf, and we never take that for granted and certainly miss it. But more importantly, for everyone to stay safe and healthy and continue to follow all the recommendations from the experts and from the local authorities. And I think overall, at least from what I've seen, people have been really good in my area, understanding that. And we're all here to support each other, help each other, and do the best we can to get this back to normal as quickly as possible, and have it affect less people. And like I said, help the front, everyone on the front line that's making a lot of sacrifices to keep everyone safe.
Well said, John. Brady, for Sens fans and everybody around the country.
Yeah, no, I think for myself and everybody on the team, we miss being in Ottawa. You just miss being a part of the community. I think all the fans kind of miss the game, and no, it's just, I think for everybody, it's just to stay safe and follow all like the professional, like all those guidelines of social distancing and staying 6 feet away, wash your hands a lot. So I think everybody knows that, but I think just I would just be safe, and for all those first responders and doctors and nurses who are battling this virus, and like everybody said, they've sacrificed so much, and just that we all think of them and just think of everybody affected. It's that just we all pray for them.
Finally, Z, if you can do double duty, hit us in English for Boston fans and fans around the U.S. and Canada, and then you can speak to people back home in Slovak, please.
Yeah, pretty much what the guys said. These are strange times. It's there's some challenges we all facing right now. Many of us, or most of us, are away from things we love to do. It's just things we don't have. For us, it's obviously going to work, to play, to entertain people. So hopefully, we get through this together. I think that, like guys said, that the huge, big thank you has to go to the people who are, medical professionals, those people who are volunteering, people who are delivering foods. So I think that, it just takes time, and we have to be patient and safe and be disciplined. So, there is no other way to do it, just do it together. So, yeah. In Slovak, I don't know. It's so you want me to do it in my language?
Yes, please.
Tak chcel by som pozdraviť všetkých ľudí na Slovensku a viem, že toto obdobie je veľmi ťažké pre všetkých z nás a máme veľmi veľa vecí, ktoré by sme chceli všetci robiť a ktoré máme radi, ale bohužiaľ počas tejto karantény a všetko, čo sa deje vo svete, možno nemáme toľko možností, ale verím, že všetci z nás to spolu zvládneme. Sme síce malá krajina, ale dokážeme vytvoriť obrovskú silu a len spolu to môžeme zvládnuť a chcel by som toto cestou ešte raz poďakovať všetkým doktorom, špičkám, ľuďom, ktorí sú na tých prvých miestach, ktorí pomáhajú ľuďom a ľuďom, ktorí vlastne dobrovoľne pomáhajú a snažia sa vyriešiť mnohé situácie, ktoré nie sú ľahké a verím, že čoskoro budeme opäť môcť robiť to, čo máme radi a zase budeme späť v našich normálnych životoch. Takže všetkých vás pozdravujem a som s vami.